You just slid slightly under the senator that time, Joe. You had 700 on the Palmolive shave meter, which was enough to top Mr. Thomas's
7,
250.
that's a natural.
Yes, it is. I don't know why he didn't get an 11. But since only one of our wits failed to top Mr. Thomas's 250, we sent Mr. Thomas $15 with the compliments of Palmolive shave creams. And just to make him feel a little happier, let's send him a copy of the Can You Top This joke book written by our three wits and now on sale wherever books are sold. And in addition, we're sending Mr. Thomas an actual phonograph record of Peter Donald telling his story on the air. Well, let's get a fresh start, and here's a joke which was sent in by Eugene Riley of Buffalo, New York, and this is on the subject of something I know you're all deeply steeped in, courtesy. Courtesy. So, Peter, if you please.
Well, Mike Muldoon came over to this country from Ireland. He got a job in the police department. Well, he studied very hard to be a good cop, and he read all the books, and he was exemplary character. And finally, he got put out on the beat. His first day, and he's so proud of his uniform, and he's walking up and down Times Square here. He said, now we got to remember to be nice and courteous to all the visitors and answer all the questions. He said, they better be sure I know the answers. Now, let me see. The right side of the street is for the traffic going that way. The left side is for the traffic coming this way. The white line in the middle, that's for bicycles. All right, now I got it all straight. I'm ready, all right. So he stands there, and pretty soon a fella comes up and says, officer, can you help me? He said, my dear sir, I would be delighted. He says, well, officer, I'm a stranger in town. I'm lost. I don't know which way I'm going. Which way is north? He said, north. That's, north is the... He said, you said north? He says, yeah, north. He said, look, buddy, we got uptown, we got downtown, we got crosstown. Now you have to come along and make it tough for me by asking for north.
Well, it seems to be a little tough for you tonight, Pete. That was exactly 500 on the Palmolive shave meter that time for Mr. Riley. So he starts off with $10. I don't know just where he's going to wind up. Two hands are upraised. They're all anxious to get in tonight with these low scores that Pete's been bagging away.
Under one of them.
Well, Harry, suppose we elect you to try again.
This is during the war, and a new GI is in this camp, and a general passes, and he's complaining. And he says to another GI, "Geez, look at that's the trouble with the world. The world forgets so easy. Think of a guy like that doing that. Pointing to the general. Guy said, what happened?" He said, last night I was for the first time on sentry duty, and he came along, this general. And I said, "Who goes there?" And he said, "Friend." Now he goes by like he don't even know me.
Well, 950 you'll be happy to hear, Harry, on the Palmolive shave meter that time, which was a little over Mr. Riley's 500. Therefore, he still retains his original $10. And, Joe, I think your hand was raised second.
Dmitri Samovar, the Russian, takes his wife into a restaurant. And the order, he says, "I want a steak for two." So after a few minutes or so, the steak comes on a big plate for two. And he takes the knife and fork and starts carving it. And cuts a little bit, about a quarter of the steak, and gives it to his wife. Then he takes the 3/4 for himself. And she looks at it. She looks at her portion, then looks at his, and she says, "Dmitri," he says, "what?" She says, "You show me no courtesy." He says, "What do you mean courtesy?" She says, "If I was putting out the steak, if I was cutting the steak, if I was serving the steak, I would give myself the small piece and you the big piece." He says, "What are you kicking about? You got the little piece, ain't you?"
Well, you didn't get too large a piece of the Palmolive shave meter that time, Joe. 750 to be exact, but it was good enough to top Mr. Riley's 500. So that same $10 is dogging him consistently along the line. And, Senator, how about you?
Well, there's a very old gag that I can tell about courtesy. Teacher said to a little boy, she said, "Tommy, what did Sir Walter Raleigh say to Queen Elizabeth?" He said, "Well, Sir Walter Raleigh put out his coat, and he said, 'Step on it, kid.'" I was wondering, since Sir Walter Raleigh established chivalry by putting his cloak down and letting the Queen walk on it, what she would have done if she'd been out with Mahatma Gandhi. Well, anyway, there was This is the gag now.
This is it.
This is it. Let me see now. I forgot it now that I had one there for
We're
a minute
still
ago.
on courtesy.
Well, a dopey farmer kid was up on the farm, and some boarder said to him, "You know, that was a very nice thing you did this afternoon when you opened the barn door to let your aunt in." He said, "Oh, shucks, that's nothing. I do that for the cows every night."
I'm glad that was it, Senator. That was 600 on the Palmolive shave meter that time, topping by just 100.
What happened to that 1,000 on this meter?
I don't know. I think that's out for the evening. However, we'll find out a little later, I hope. Gee whiz, all you three wits topped Mr. Riley's 500 that time, so here's the bad tidings for Mr. Riley. We send him $10 with the compliments of Palmolive shave creams, plus a copy of the new Can You Top This Joke book written by our three wits and now on sale wherever books are sold. And if he would care for it, in addition, we're sending Mr. Riley an actual phonograph record of Peter Donald telling his story on the air. And now, here's proof of new shaving comfort.
Not just a promise, not just a claim. Palmolive Brushless offers you proof, definite proof that 3 men out of every 4 tested got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves the Palmolive Brushless way.
Yes, 1,297 men tried the new, different Palmolive brushless way to shave. And no matter how they shaved before, 3 men out of every 4 reported beards easier to cut, smoother feeling skin, less razor pull, and more comfortable, actually smoother shaves.
So you be the judge. Get Palmolive Brushless and try the new, different Palmolive Brushless way to shave yourself.
Remember, it's not just a promise, not just a claim. Palmolive brushless offers you proof, definite proof, that 3 men out of every 4 get more comfortable, actually smoother shaves the Palmolive brushless way.
Well, our next joke comes from Jack Norworth of Laguna Beach, California, and the subject of this round is fortune teller. Fortune teller. So,
Is that
Pete,
the Jack Norworth that wrote Shine on Harvest Moon?
that and Take Me Out to the Ball
Take Me
Game,
Out to the
too, I
Ball
believe.
Game, too.
There's only one Jack Norworth that I know of. I hope he's in the Jack. Pete, we hope you don't need any good fortune with this one.
You know, I predict that next week in Buffalo, Boston, and Cisco, Texas, 3 hock shops will have an actual recording of Peter Donald telling a joke. Oh, dear. Anyway, this is about a very, very ritzy lady, very, very swanky, and she decided to have afternoon tea, so she saw a place called Princess Zuzu's Gypsy Tea Room. So there's a big sign on the front that says, "Have your future told by the Gypsy Princess." Well, that was fine, so she went in and she ordered tea and waffles, and then after the meal was over, she sent for Princess Zuzu. And out came a dark woman with earrings in her ears and a turban on her head on which was inscribed the mystic inscription, Statla Hotel, right across the front. So the customer said, "Oh, are you the Gypsy Princess?" The princess says, "So what do I look like, Shirley Temple?" Yes, certainly, I'm Princess Zuzu. Says, "I'm the queen of the Ipsy Pipsy Gypsies, that's me." She says, "Well," she says, "Princess, your tea was very nice, but your waffle was rather tough." She says, "My waffle was tough." She says, "Listen, honey, maybe the waffle wouldn't be so tough if you first lifted up the veil from your face when you eat." She says, "Now, you want I shall tell your fortune from the leaves in the tea, or the lumps in the cocoa, or from the crystal ball?" She says, "Well, I should like the crystal ball." She says, "Very well, now be quiet, silence." She says, "I gaze into the crystal, abracadabra, Mashaloo Parkway. Open the door, Dunninger." She says, "Now let me look in the crystal ball and see your future." So the customer said, "Just a moment. I think you're a fraud. Look at that crystal. It has 3 holes in it." She says, "So the crystal ball's got 3 holes in it? So what? On Wednesday nights, I like to go bowling."
Well, you finally found the key to success, Peter. 1,000, the top of the Palmolive shave meter that time, automatically giving Mr. Norworth $25.
Norworth
Probably
will buy
more money than
miniatures
he's had in
now.
years now. And let's see. Oh, you 3 fellas can't do anything about taking this away from him.
Well, that's
so
why I was willing to go in first.
Well,
Can't do anything about it
you
anyhow.
seem to have plenty of competition. Everybody's hands are up on this one. So how about you, Senator? We'll start with you.
Well, Mrs. Cook went to a fortune teller, and she said, "What is it a sign of when a black cat follows you home?" And the fortune teller said, "That's a sign you're going to have kittens all over the house." So she said, I will now look into my crystal 8-ball. I see Venus. That means you are going to fall in love. I see Mars. That means you are going to have a fight. I see you dunk donuts. That means that you were born under the sign of the Great Dipper. And now I see that... Now I see that a blonde is chasing your husband. And I see also that she's going to get him. And Mrs. Cook said she'll have to go some. I buried him 3 years ago.
Apparently you found the secret too, Senator. 1,000, top of the Palmolive shave meter that time.
I know if this
tying
thing
Mr.
lasted
Norworth.
long enough, I'd get up there.
Well, Joe, I think you were second.
Well, this is about a woman, a big, big, fat woman, gets on one of those fortune-telling weighing machines. She gets on there and she puts in the penny and she waits, and the little card comes out. It says, you weigh 300 pounds. You are very stout. She says, oh, something's wrong with this. So she said, I'll try again. So she puts another penny in. Comes out the card, says, you weigh 300 pounds. You are very stout. So she hits the machine a little bit. She says, oh, something must be wrong. I'll try it once again. So she puts in another penny. And out comes a card. It says, listen, Beef Trust, I won't lie for a lousy penny.
Well, I won't lie either, Joe. 1,000, top of the Palmolive shave meter that time, once again giving us a perfect round thus far. And, Harry, it's up to you.
Yeah, I thought a couple. I want to throw in a preface, a quick preface. Well, fella goes to a Russian fortune teller. The fortune teller looks in the glass ball, the crystal ball, and says, you are going on a trip. You are going to Pazbul. Fella says, Pazbul? Where's Pazbul? He said, near Moscow.
Harry,
That's only preface.
well, I don't think, as a matter of fact, Harry, we're going to have time for the joke after that. We'll go along with the preface and call that the gag, because you can't go anyplace anyway. So, well, let's save the gag for next week, because none of you three have topped Mr. Norworth's 1,000, so we send Mr. Norworth $25 with the compliments of Palmolive shave creams, plus a 1,000 club certificate. And in addition, we're sending Mr. Norworth an actual phonograph record of Peter Donald telling his story on the air and a piece of cut plug to go with it. At this point, Dan Donaldson has good shaving news for brush and lather fans.
Men, if you use a brush when you shave and like oceans of rich, thick, moisture-soaked lather, try the new different Palmolive Lather Way to shave.
1,251 men prove the new Palmolive Latherway brings smoother, more comfortable shaves to 3 men out of every 4. So get Palmolive Lather and see how the new Palmolive Latherway makes beards easier to cut, gives less razor pull, closer shaves, smoother feeling skin.
Here's all you do. Wash your face with soap and water. Rinse. Soap your face thoroughly again. Do not rinse. Brush Palmolive Lather upward into beard to get the full benefit of Palmolive Lather's beard conditioning effect. Then shave.
And that's all. But remember, the new different Palmolive Latherway to shave has been proved. Proved to give smoother, more comfortable shaves to 3 men out of every 4 tested.
Well, friends, the time's wasted now, so join Can You Top This again next week. Same time, same gang, other jokes, some new, some old. Until then, we remain yours for bigger and better laughs.
Senator Ford.
Harry Hirschfield.
Joe Laurie Jr.
Peter Donald.
Ward Wilson.
And Charles Stark saying goodnight for Palmolive Brushless and Palmolive Lather. Palmolive, the largest selling brand of shave creams in the world.
Today, dealers are paying higher prices than ever before for used cooking fats and oils. Save them. Turn them in for cash. Remember, industry needs these fats and oils urgently to help produce soap, automobiles, refrigerators, all the things you want and need. Remember this, too. The shortage of fats and oils is a worldwide problem, so keep right on saving cooking fats and oils.
Stay tuned in to the Judy Canova Show, which follows immediately over most of these same stations.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.